Good evening. The meeting of the Measure GG Oversight Committee will please come to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America,
and to the republic for which it
stands, one nation,
under God,
God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
For those participating via Zoom, when we get to the item you want to speak on, please use the raise your hand feature and the city clerk will turn on your microphone to speak at the appropriate time. I now call the meeting to order. Let the record show for Zoom attendees, please use the raise your hand feature if you'd like to speak. Would anyone in the audience like to speak either here or virtually? And if so, Ms. Harrington, would you request them to speak online?
We have no Zoom attendees, sir.
Thank you. Given we have no Zoom attendees and no one who wants to speak at this gathering, we're going to continue. Our first item is review of the Measure GG revenues and expenditures for fiscal year 2020 to 2021 and the annual and the draft annual report. Staff report. Ms. Lee, if you would please report on that. And after that, if any of the committee members have any questions, we'll bring them up after.
Okay, good evening, committee chair, vice chair, and committee members. I will begin tonight by providing the committee with a summary of the fiscal year 2021 revenues and expenditures pertaining to the City of Newark's Measure GG half-cent sales tax, also known as General Transaction Use Tax, Ordinance number 742. The Measure GG fund is as part of the city's general fund, which is a type of governmental fund that's included in the city's basic financial statements. A separate fund number from the city's main general fund was established to account for the Measure GG revenues. With the implementation of the city's new financial system, the new fund number is Fund 112, and a project code CIP 1188 under the Capital Improvement Fund, which is Fund 610, was set up to track the expenditures. Looking at attachment 1 on the screen currently, this is the summary page that summarizes the Measure GG revenues. And on the next page, which we'll get to in just a bit, summarizes the expenditures and are grouped in categories. So on this page, this is the summary of the revenues that we've received for fiscal year 2021. And as you can see, the total of the revenues are $5.7 million approximately. And it shows that the Measure GG revenues came in 3% higher than anticipated and approximately 18% or $1 million more than the receipts from last year. And contributing to this increase are results from Assembly Bill 147, or the Wayfair decision, which requires out-of-state retailers meeting specific requirements to collect and remit sales tax, as well as use tax and transaction taxes. Plus, people continue to embrace the convenience of e-commerce, and this is what contributed to the increase. And please note that this $5.7 million also includes year-end accruals. Accruals are the measurable and available revenues for fiscal year 2021, but the cash is not dispersed to the city until the following fiscal year in the months of July and August. Next page, please. Oh, same. Oh, yeah, it's just Thank you. And here is the summary of the expenditures. And the expenditures totals $41.6 million. Most of the expenditures were paid to Webcorp Builders, the construction contractors, and the Veneer Construction Management Company, which were the design, build, and the project management team for the Civic Center project. Other significant payments includes the purchase of new Civic Center furniture from KBM, and also includes move-in costs for the city. Any questions regarding the expenditures at this point?
Yes. Actually, if we could go back to the previous slide first, I have one question there.
Sure.
So I'm looking at this, and for September 2020, the actual was 43,000. Is that real? I mean,
The 43,360.
yeah.
Yes. As I mentioned in our at our previous meeting, that the CDTFA had implemented a new finance system. They actually implemented two, and there were adjustments that month, and that was the residual of the adjustments. I think from our last meeting, they were finalizing the last of their true-ups from implementing the new system. And so you do see a significant dip in that month because that month does include all the aberrations and all the true-up accounting for the remittances.
Okay, it was just a rather surprising aberration.
It's quite right. And also, I think I've mentioned that they've finalized their implementations, and this year you'll see very minimal residuals of these corrections. And so going forward, if you look all the way at the bottom, there's that negative 43,769. I think last time when I presented, that number was significantly higher. And so it does show that they have cleaned up their books and are remitting and will continue going forward to remit the true revenues that the cities are getting.
Okay. And now the next slide that we had gone over. Okay. So in reviewing this, I get all this, except for one. Systems and Space Inc., high-density storage solutions, $333,000. What's that?
The high-density storage solutions, those included the high-density lockers that we currently have at the police station. I'm not sure if you've had a chance to tour the police station, but the new police station has their own parking space. And so there's a new feature where when you go outside and it's outdoors and there's these high-density lockers for police officers to put their items in there, and then they start their shifts in the police cars. And
Okay, so it's like a physical storage.
Yes, it's a physical storage system that is built in and secured to the ground. And I can provide further detail. That's just kind of my knowledge of what those items are. But I can provide the backup documentation that actually shows the lockers.
No, that's fine. When someone says, high-density storage, you could actually take that in another light. In other words, it's storage for data.
Oh, no, these are actually structures. Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions?
Yeah, if you can just go to the other slide, the previous slide.
The revenues? Sure.
Yeah, the revenues. Now, if I just look between June and March, the actual revenue delta, it's almost doubled. So is that just seasonality or there's some other explanation?
June and March. And may I ask if you're looking at the month of transaction or the received column?
I'm looking at the actual dollars. Yeah, I'm looking at the received.
The received month, the $454,633, and the June one, the $437,997 amount?
Yeah, sorry, I'm looking at the May, which is 315, and the August, which is 703.
Oh, well, I have an asterisk for the August one, and all the months with the asterisk includes quarterly cleanups. And so what CDTFA does is they actually remit advances to the city. And then those particular months, the quarterly, they also remit true-ups that they've reconciled the previous quarter and then additional true-up payments in those months. And therefore, those months typically should be higher.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions?
Good.
Okay.
Great.
Please.
And then, so I'll just continue. Measure GG funds are audited along with our city funds as part of our city's annual independent audit process. The financials for the Measure GG funds are incorporated in the city's annual financial report as part of the general fund. And the most recent audited financial report was for fiscal year 2021 and is also available on the city's website. And a separate Measure GG independent auditor's report is also attached to the packet. The independent certified public accounting firm, LSL CPAs, they have rendered an unmodified opinion, which is a clean opinion, on both the city's annual comprehensive financial report and the Measure GG financial statements for the year ending June 30th, 2021. And lastly attached is the draft Measure GG Oversight Committee report to our council. As in the past, I will send an electronic version of this draft report to the committee for your additions and edits as
Right.
necessary.
Yeah, we'll need to edit that.
Right. And so this concludes my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any further questions you may have.
Okay, I do have a couple of questions. So in the detail, in the document that was sent, attachment 5, in the PDF marked page 8 and 8, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 of that document. There's a line item for staples. I'm not sure I understand the amount versus dist amount. The numbers are not matching.
The page number, please?
Oh, so in attachment 5, okay, first we'll start with page 8.
Okay, 8 of 23, okay.
There we go, page 8. So if you look at Staples Advantage, office supplies, so the amount is $993.45, and then dist amount $556.94. I don't understand. Is that?
Oh, so the distribution amount, how you read these reports is the $556.94 is the amount that is distributed to this particular account, and this particular account is professional services. So the total of the invoice is actually probably $993.45, but $556.94 of that invoice is due to professional services. And then the remainder will probably show up in another account. Maybe it's actually purchasing of supplies versus the services.
Yeah, I've seen this in several other pages, the same type of thing, and I was kind of wondering, what is this? I don't understand.
Yeah,
So.
it's, especially this is the accounting type of reporting, and so that's why I try to summarize all the expenditures into that summary page. But yes, that column that says amount is the total amount of the actual expense, and then the distribution amount is how much of that is distributed to this particular general ledger account or this particular line item.
So for Measure GG, the amount that is paid from the account is $556.94?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And that would be true throughout the other pages that I have marked?
Throughout the remainder of this report, yes.
Okay, all right, very good. Understand, Carol.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure. Thanks for asking that question.
That's the only questions I have. You answered my other question regarding the system and storage.
Great.
Anyone have any other questions? You good?
I'm fine.
Over on Zoom, do we have any questions?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
So that concludes.
That concludes my report tonight.
Would anyone in the audience like to speak on this item? No. Ms. Harrington, is there anyone on Zoom who would like to speak on this item?
No, Chair Lola.
Okay. Committee member comments, questions? No, we're done. Okay, is there a motion to approve the annual report?
I make a motion to approve.
Okay,
Second?
okay. For all those in favor, say aye.
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 All those opposed, say no. Motion passes. And I guess that's it. Next is the tour of the facilities in which we have worked on making sure that everything is according to Measure GG. So with that, I guess I can adjourn. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 We are adjourned, and now we're going to go take a look at the facilities. For those on Zoom, thank you very much.
Have fun.
Okay.
Thanks.